guys, Ellen Woodbridge here, independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Australia, and I would like to welcome you to the April Christmas Stampathon Challenge. And this month we are playing with a fun fold, and a particular fun fold which is a Z fold card or a Z fold card, depending on where you are in the world. So this is the Z fold card I have made. So you can have a look at it from the top and you can see where the name comes from. Now, a couple of the girls in the design team, they're doing double Z fold cards. I have just done a single one today and kept it nice and simple, with a touch of gold embossing and gold foil, a bit of colouring with our Stampin' blends on coloured cardstock, and I've used 2 stamp sets. So I've used 4 Season Floral with our Poinsettia. Sadly, this is a retiring stamp set, but I just love the motif, and I'm sure you have something perfect that could go in our layering circles dies. And our sentiment is from the Poinsettia Petals stamp set. The papers that I've used both the Flowers for Every Season, which does have a couple of sheets of Christmas paper in there, which I found to use from. Now, this background paper is also from the Flowers for Every Season, but it's just jade in colour. So for some of the 10 cards, I've already made 8, and we're making 2 together. For some of them, I've grabbed some just jade paper out of our colour collection paper. So let's make our final 2 cards together. I'm just going to pop these few things to the side, and I have already made a start on a few things, but I want to show you the wow of embossing. So I have all my pieces here. Now I want to tell you first and foremost how the Z fold card base is created, and it's pretty simple. So these 2 pieces create one, if I can open it, can't open it with one hand each. So these 2 pieces of cardstock are a complete piece of cardstock. So I've cut it, I've scored it, and then I've cut it in half, and then once I have folded this in half, I've folded the front of the card back on itself and used my bone folder to make it a nice crisp fold, and I've done that on both of them. Now you could, if you wanted to, use left opening, but a right opening, but I prefer left opening. So I have those card bases done. Now I've also grabbed some alternative pattern paper to this, and this piece has come from the Flowers for Every Season Memories and More cards. So you can see it has a nice journaling card on the back, but I have grabbed that. I've grabbed some Poppy Parade color collection paper. Now I've already put the beautiful gold sentiment on that, so that one's already done. Now I did just want to create the sentiment, the embossed sentiment here. Now I've made it nice and easy for myself because I was making 10 of these cards, and I have set this stamp up on my Stamparatus. Now I am just going to use a bit of an anti-static tool here, get my scrap paper ready to grab my powder, and open my gold embossing powder. So embossing is all about the preparation. Now while I'm stamping, I'm going to have my heat tool heating up just to the side, and I'm going to use Versamark ink. Now this is a clear sticky ink that when stamped on plain cardstock also leaves a watermark effect. I will just turn this off now that it's all nicely heated up. Make sure this cardstock's in the corner. Give it a beautiful squish down. Stamp it, kiss it to the paper if you might. I've done my stamping. Bring across this paper, and the magic, because I can't even see my stamping at the moment, the magic of what we just stamped appears. So may the magic and wonder bloom this holiday. Now, if you'll indulge me here, I will just siphon this powder back into the pot. Now, many of you, this may be the first time you visited my page. The Christmas Stampathon Challenge is just a group of my Stampin' Up! Demonstrator friends who wanted to get ready for Christmas. I've knocked over a few of these pots in my time, so I know to do a bit of cleanup on the way. Get rid of our stray powder is going to help me in the end. So basically we created the group, so every month 25th of January through till the last set challenge is normally in October but due in November, and then we can write our Christmas cards ready for the Christmas season. So watch as this melts into a beautiful molten gold, exactly like the stamp. And as soon as that is melted, you are done. You just want to make sure there are no extra grainy bits in there, and that is beautifully done. Next, I am going to create this very simply coloured poinsettia. So I have already gold, actually I haven't properly melted part of this flower, so I will remelt that because that's a little grainy just on the edge here. Try not to melt my finger while I'm at it. I don't need a burnt finger. There we go. Maybe a titch there. Perfect. And that will just take a second to cool down. So I'm going to grab in my Stampin' blend. So I've grabbed in my Pair of Poppy Parade blends, but I'm only going to use the dark because the cardstock is already Poppy Parade. I really just want to add a little bit of shading to these petals. So I'm going to try my best not to really go over the embossed edges, to obviously my best, because these markers do actually colour in the embossing, which is good, but kind of not the look I'm going for. Let's not forget about the berries here. And that is all my poppy colouring done. For our leaves, I've used Shaded Spruce because doesn't matter. I do have a Just Jade marker, but I've done all of them in Shaded Spruce. I think I did choose this because with the red cardstock, I did want to go a titch darker. I'm starting with our light here and colouring in all the leaves. And then I'm just going to simply go in with our dark and do a bit of a dab. So just a bit of a dab where it will be darkest, because these images are quite small, I just want to add small details. I don't want to be too pedantic about my coloring. Just add some beautiful color and shade, or lighten color. Now, I have the edges of my dimensionals. I wasn't prepared with my dimensionals here, but I'll show you that I don't waste any of my dimensionals. And what I do is, I want 3 pieces. I just cut the edges here, and then you can see some of that dark shaded spruce ink has just popped through. I just want this nice and balanced, and all these are cut with our layering circle dies, so both our Poppy Parade and our gold foil. Now let's see if this backing wants to come off. It's not loving me today. So yeah, this there will be 3 or 4 more admin examples of projects. Come over to our Facebook group to join in the fun, and we give away a card each to a randomly chosen participant every month. So now we have all our elements together. I'm throwing everything around in the craft room today. I am going to pop these together, and now my glue is just at the end of, just get rid of this glue goober. I think I had a titch of glue stuck in the very end. Let's see if we can get this glue running now. It doesn't want to run for me. Plan B, let's use some of our Stampin' Seal. So I often find it easier, especially with these larger pieces, is to pop my glue on the cardstock rather than on the piece of paper. I just find it gives me a little more control, and I can put my hands wherever I want on the back of the cardstock. Sorry, on the back of the paper. Please pardon me getting confused there. Line that up. It isn't perfectly straight, but life is also not perfect. So for this one, just pop our Memories and More card on the flap. Just line that up. So I went for the Poppy Parade background just to create some contrast, because there is mostly the green, and then I went a pop with the red. So also attach this here. So because we've got the dimension, I just want to glue it directly to the card. I'll add my finishing touch once I have both cards done. So you can see these come together really easily, and I'll show you here. It just stands up perfectly. There's no issues with the sagging card. It just stands up beautifully on a mantelpiece or an entertainment unit, side table, wherever your recipient will display their cards. These will stand up perfectly. Let's see if we can line this one up a little more even. That's lovely. and take our front. I may just need to stick a glue dot under where it has buckled a little when we did the embossing, but that is a super easy fix, and I'll show you where it has buckled. The other thing I did with my other cards was I put them under a block, and I was able to use my wet glue or my multi-purpose glue, and I popped them under one of the large F block, I think it is, and they just sat there for a few minutes. They were perfectly straight. So you can see I've got the glue dot here. Just slide this under. If it will go all the way under for me. Nope. Right. No, come on. Be kind to me, Mr. Glue Dot. Okay. This glue dot is not loving me, but I am going to tell it exactly who's boss. There we go. So I've just made that lift go away by adding a bit of extra glue. Where there is a will, there is a way to fix these. So for our final embellishment, while I stick this down, I'm going to use our metallic pearls. Now these come in a pack with both gold and silver, and I'm going to use just 3 gold pearls today. I think it just adds a bit of glitz and glamour and just really brings all the gold elements that we have used together. Now you could use 3 or 4, it's up to you. On the example I have used 4. I think for this one I'd like to use 3. On another one I used 5. I just went with what I felt at the time. Really love the take your pick tool. It just allows me, see here, I want to go the extra one. There we go. So it just allows me to pick it up because you've got the blue tack on the end, and place it down without any fuss or bother at all. So all of these products are available to purchase in my store if you would like. If you have any questions in regards to my project or the group, please do not hesitate to ask. So just to recap with what we have used, I've used the Poinsettia out of the 4-Season Floral, the Sentiment out of Poinsettia Petals. I've used both the Flowers for Every Season paper, Memories and More cards, and the In Colour and Brights paper stacks. They're 6x6 in size, and I have also used the layering circles dies for our circle, and if I can put my hand on it, the gold embossing powder and the pearls. So I look forward to seeing your Z Fold card creations over at our Christmas Stampathon 2021 group on Facebook. If you're not a member, send in a request, answer the questions, and we'll happily have you join us for all the fun. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I will catch you next month for another Christmas Stampathon challenge. Thanks guys, bye.